everyone.
Dum 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 dum. Cha. Dum 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 dum. Ow! Dum 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 dum. Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I'm here once again to talk about this channel. Reason I'm doing this is because we just hit 2,000 subscribers. 2,000 subscribey boys, and that is quite the milestone. Quite a big one. It took us from the very start of the channel, took us about 6 weeks to hit 1,000 subscribers, and it is almost exactly a month after that we are hitting 2,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I wanted to redo my channel video because the old version of the channel video, I happened to watch it at some point recently and I was like, damn, this is not good. There were a couple of issues with it. One was I've just gotten better at this in general, I think. And the other was it was not a good picture of the way that I do my content. My content is, for the most part, entirely unscripted and sort of chilling and saying hi and stuff and hanging out with people through the magic powers of the internet. And the video that I put out for my channel video is like very obvious that I'm reading a script. At least it's obvious to me. I don't know. But it's very obvious that I'm reading a script and it's kind of stilted and bleh. It's not the stuff I'm putting out. I put out blind reaction videos and memes and the occasional deeper analytical piece. And hopefully we'll have more of that deeper analytical stuff coming eventually, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to do that when I'm inspired to do it and when I have something that I really want to talk about in a more formal format. But the vast majority of my content is ridiculously chill, you know? So it felt weird to have sort of a stilted channel video where I'm reading a script. Anyway, a couple of parts of this video will be scripted just because they're stuff that I said in the other video and I want to be saying again in the video. So let's get into that, shall we? I'm Teeaboo. The name comes from tea and weeaboo, if you couldn't tell. I drink a lot of tea. This says virgin blood on it. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of wearing off. This says virgin blood on it. That's a joke. The Japanese anime community has found me and they call me Hakushaku or Count because they think that I look like Dracula. I think specifically the Dracula from the Castlevania animated series that came out. I think. Anyway, I can see it. I got the pointy teeth and the hair and the beard and I guess. Okay. But you know, they would make jokes that I was drinking blood and so I decided to fuck with them. This is the kind of stuff I do. I do stupid shit. So yeah, it's green tea. Almost always is what I'm drinking, if you were wondering. In this case, it's actually pu'er, which is a fermented tea, and it's really quite tasty, very earthy. Not for everybody, but I like it. It's nice and high caffeine and high L-theanine content, which is good. But yeah, tea and weeaboo. I watch a lot of anime and I drink a lot of tea. That's what I do, and so that's my name. Ta-da! I made this channel because, well, for a couple of reasons, really. The first being that I got into watching reactions, and I got interested in them. And specifically, I got interested in the reactions done by two groups. One being the Semblance of Sanity SOS Bros, Caleb and Jacob. They, I would say, are the biggest inspiration for this channel, and if you just take a glance at the way my channel is structured and the way their channel is structured, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear where the inspiration comes from. I mean, if you even look at my thumbnails, you can tell that they're closely inspired, if not directly copied, from RWBY's thumbnail designs, which I've talked to him about on the Discord recently, and he thinks is fine. Whatever. Anyway, I picked them because I think they're the best thumbnails on YouTube, and I would quote Oscar Wilde, who said, "Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness." And that's about how I see it. I see myself as mediocre, and I see them as great, and I would like to aspire to beat them at their own game. That is, to create content that is as good or better than theirs. That's the goal. And it's not competitive, it's just a personal drive that I want to do that, but better, because I believe that I can, and if I don't believe that I can do something better than anybody else, then why would I do it? Like, what's the point? The second group would be Blind Wave, who I don't think are on the same level as Semblance of Sanity in terms of analysis and stuff, but in terms of the sheer amount of content that they produce and the quality of that content, they're pretty far up there. They're pretty good. They also take detailed notes and do it as a job. They focus and they care about the shows that they're watching, and I really like that. So I was inspired by the long discussions that Caleb and Jacob have on their channel, and the note-taking and taking it seriously that the Blind Wave guys do. In terms of other content creators who've inspired my work, I really look up to those people who create detailed analytical videos, not just on anime, but on all types of media. I really look up to them, and I've always enjoyed that kind of content, and it's always been something that's been in the back of my head, like, wow, one day I'd love to do that. Because I love writing analytically, and I love thinking critically, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, I promise. I'm really fucking good at it. Like, really, I swear, I'm not trying to humble brag here, but, like, I'm really good at it. I breezed through high school and college because writing essays is second nature to me. It's easy. I just sort of knock them out, and then I don't edit them, and then I turn them in, and then they come back with A's, and I'm like, okay. That's just how it happens. It just always happens that way, and I don't know. It just happens. So I like talking about things. I like looking at them from as many perspectives as I can possibly see them, and I like making analytical content. So I decided to do reaction videos because I like reaction videos, because they're cool, but more importantly, they're endless. They're an endless source of content, and they align really well with my interests. One of my interests is watch a lot of fucking anime, and to make that my job, like, my job at this point is to watch a lot of fucking anime and talk about it. That's it. I love it. I love it a lot. There could be nothing better for me. Yeah, absolutely nothing better. I started this channel, now we're gonna get serious. I started this channel very shortly after my dog died. My dog died about 4 months ago now? I think it's about 4 months, yeah. About 4 months ago. And I had her since I was 10. So, for 14 years. I'm 24. I'd had her for 14 years. And at the time, I was a programmer, and I was working freelance. I was making pretty good money, and I fucking hated it. And I didn't realize that I hated it. I was always complacent about that. I was always okay with it. But I really, 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 really hated it. I was deeply depressed. And when she died, I became unable to look at my text editor. I could not stomach going back. I just couldn't. And I let my contacts, my freelance contacts and clients slip away, and fell deeper into depression. But then I thought, fuck this shit. I know that I hate this. I know what I would do if I had the freedom to do anything. And I'm essentially at rock bottom. I've got no money. I've got no savings. I've got nothing. So why not start? And that's what I did. I started recording videos. And I recorded a whole bunch of videos before I even uploaded any. I wanted to have, I was pretty naive about this. I wanted to have a backlog of videos so that I could upload them and figure out everything as I went. So I recorded a bunch of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I recorded all of Serial Experiments Lane. I recorded all of Batum. And I recorded the first, 10 episodes of Akame ga Kill. And is there anything else? I think that was it. I think that was it for the early recordings. But I recorded all of those, and then I thought about how am I going to, how am I going to brand this? How am I going to find a name and do all that stuff? So I thought of it, I thought about it, and put together Teeaboo, and made a logo, and made a banner, and set up a channel, and started uploading videos. Just starting with the first Legend of the Galactic Heroes movie, and going from there. And now we're here with 2,000 subs, and what is it, 50 of you now that are supporting me on Patreon? I think it's 50 of you that are supporting me for a total of $250 a month, which is far more than I expected, far faster than I expected. And that's amazing. But it also serves as confirmation in my mind that this is right for me. This is what I should be doing, and this will work. And that's the plan that I've been on the whole way. It's been do or die, sink or swim, win or die trying. Very, very literally. If you look at my Patreon goals, you'll see that they're, at least the first few, are all food related. They're all like, at this tier, I'll be able to eat eggs for a month. At this tier, I'll be able to eat eggs and beef for a month. Those are all completely literal. And I made a video just a little while ago called Eggs, and I showed you what I bought with my first Patreon payout, which was like $120-some. So I took all of that money and I bought food. And I've been living off of that food, and it's been good. Lots of eggs, a bunch of pork. It's been tasty. It's been quite good. But that's how it was, and that's how it still is. This is do or die, still. And that's not an entreaty to you, that's just letting you know where I'm coming from. This is going to be my life. I'm going to make it that way, and that's all there is to it. There's not going to be anything that can stop me, except for a terrible natural disaster. God forbid. But there's a bit more than that, too. You see, I believe, now we get into the scripted part, I believe firmly that there are important truths hidden in fiction. Truths about people and about societies that transcend the individual and enter into the realm of legend, myth, of that to which we aspire. These truths affect us deeply as individuals and as societies. They are the backbone of all of our art, all of our stories. They are what makes a piece of music feel right, what makes us jump for joy when a character overcomes an obstacle through grit and determination, what makes us cheer for nonsensical things like the power of friendship. They aren't actually nonsense. They're allegories, parables, creations of human genius that wrap the fundamental building blocks of good people in layer upon layer of eye-catching, heart-pounding, wonderful, cute, funny, enjoyable goodness. And I've found that of all the media in the world, of all the types of books and comics and art and music and movies and television shows, there is one category which always seems to overflow with deeper meaning. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the process, maybe it's the culture, but the stories, characters, and worlds that are portrayed in Japanese manga and animation, or anime, have always appeared to me to consistently carry densely packed meaning. I think a part of that is the fact that anime is a medium, not a genre. It's not a specific type of show. It's an entire form of art. an entire medium, and because of that, it can be anything. And it's not limited the way that film is limited. Film is limited. You can only shoot what you can shoot. And that's changed quite a bit with the advent of digital effects and computer-generated imagery. But for the most part, film is still very limited to human characters in human situations. And we've been able to see inhuman characters in recent years. Take a look at the Marvel movies. In full high quality, high definition, extraordinary detail. See inhuman characters, alien characters, things like that. But that's a very new thing for film. Before, anything that was inhuman was very difficult to capture, and certainly very difficult to make feel real. But with animation, we suspend our disbelief about the medium from the get-go. When you watch an animated show, you're already having to do a bunch of filtering to make it feel like any of the characters are characters, and any of the faces are human faces, because they don't look like human faces. They're poor facsimiles at best. And I mean at best. They're drawings. But at the same time, somehow, paradoxically, the fact that it is all not real makes it all the more real. How weird is that? In any case, I really think that animation is kind of a magical medium, and so my goal with this channel is to share my passion, not just for anime or for green tea, but for exploring, unpacking, and elaborating upon the glimmers of truth that are buried within what many call children's cartoons. After all, children are the most impressionable of human beings. I think it's important to understand what they're learning from the stories and characters that inform their young, malleable worldviews. And as someone who views myself as a child, I also have a young, malleable worldview, and I like to take in lots and lots and lots of information from as many different perspectives, created by as many different people as possible. Because how else can I form a complete, or even a tenth of a percent of a complete picture of what other people see in the world? How other people's brains work. There's no other way. You have to read, you have to watch, you have to analyze. Now you might say this is just another reaction channel, and you would be right, and you would be very, very wrong. The vast majority of my content is going to be in the reaction style. I want you to see me see the shows that I watch. I want you to join me for the ride. And I want to watch things that are coming out now, because I'm going to watch them. And if I'm going to watch something, I'm going to turn this camera on, and I'm going to talk about it while I watch it, because that's just what I do now. It's what I like doing, so it's what I'm going to keep doing. So yes, most of it is going to be reaction content. But I hope to make the channel more than that. I hope to deep dive into the artistry and care that goes into these 20-minute chunks of entertainment, and maybe, just maybe, convince some people that there's more than meets the eye to these so-called children's cartoons. One way that you can think of this, and I found this video after I started the channel. Digibro has a video called Gimmick. It's got gimmick in the title. What's it called? Digi, what's up? Ah, there we go. Art is fleeting. Gimmicks are careers. It's a 15-minute video. I'll put something in here to indicate where it is, and maybe I'll link it in the description if I can remember to. But it's a really interesting video, and it sort of changed my perspective on some things. His basic argument in the video is that art is not something that you can just pump out. Art is not a hose. I think the exact wording he uses is analysis is not a hose. And often when you try to make your art your living, you get into this terrible, terrible place where either nobody cares about your art, or not enough people care about your art to support you, or you're constantly trying to refine your art, and not in a good way. You're trying to box your art into the box of what you think people will enjoy enough to be able to support yourself. And so he basically argues for a gimmick, having a gimmick. And he uses gimmick in the most broad sense. It's not like a trick or anything like that. It's just something that's consistent and doesn't necessarily require internal inspiration. It doesn't require you to wake up feeling like, yes, I'm gonna, this idea, or, that would be such a good thing to analyze, or I'd really like to talk about that for this conversation. Because you can't have that all the time. And if you make that kind of thing your living, then you're going to get to a point where you don't have anything to talk about, and you're going to harm yourself as an artist. And so what he argues for is a steady stream of something that you can do consistently that doesn't necessarily require you to have big ideas, because it's effective on its own. And he lists all kinds of examples, but his definition is so broad as to include almost everything. Almost any job, essentially, is a form of a gimmick under his definition. It's a thing that you do consistently to survive, so that in your free time you can do what you want to do. For me, reactions, though they are the core of this channel, are also the gimmick of this channel. They're something that doesn't require me to necessarily be inspired from within, because by their very nature, they provide the inspiration, because I'm watching something that is inspired, that is art, or not. And in doing so, I'm given something to talk about, no matter what. There's something there that I can latch onto and sink my teeth into and talk about. Positively or negatively or critically or not. It doesn't matter. There's something there, and I can do it consistently. All the time. And under this paradigm that he sets up, the art that I'm looking for takes two very, very disparate forms. One of those forms is the deeper scripted analytical content, which is more akin to all the stuff that Digibro makes, at least on his main channel. And I'm not very good at editing or anything like that, but I'll learn. And that kind of content is something that I definitely want to make. I want to produce it. But it's not something that I want to force myself to produce or to actively go out and search for. It's something that will flow out of me when I see something that I want to talk about in depth. And something that I want to do for at least some of the shows that I'm watching once I finish them. Some of them are going to lead to more analytical content. Big teardown build-up type stuff. But that's the art. And I don't want to rely on that inspiration as something to support me, because the reaction videos are inspiring enough. They're awesome. They're a lot of fun to make. And I get to watch all the anime that I want. But that's sort of the way that I see my channel. Oh, and the other prong, right? The other prong of my art is the dumb memes. And those are fun and just a blast to make. And they're stupid. And they're basically shitposts. And that's okay with me. That's totally fine. Because they're a way for me to learn. To learn editing techniques, to learn all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. So those are kind of my two forms of art. And I'll make those when I'm inspired to. But consistently, I'll be making reaction videos. And I'll be making them on a schedule. Every show is weekly, except for one. And we'll start with talking about that one. There's one daily slot. And it should be daily in air quotes. It's daily. I try to watch an episode of that show every day. I don't always get to it because scheduling is hard, and I'm not very good at it. But I try to watch one episode every day. And for since this channel began, that show has been Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is 120 episodes long and is a super deep, lots of moving parts, galaxy-spanning space opera epic with all these characters and a ridiculous number of characters, all of them named, all of them unique, all of them with their own personalities and desires for the world. And oh, fucking hell. I don't want to spoil anything or whatever, but watch Legend of the Galactic Heroes if you haven't. It's probably something that you know about. It's probably something that's maybe sitting at the bottom of your plan to watch because it's 120 episodes of deep political stuff. But god damn, it is good. It is some good shit. And if you want to watch it along with my videos, with my reactions and my analysis, I do dive deep into it at some points when there's enough to dive into, and there often is. I've got a playlist, they're all there, and every single one of those videos is also in a mega drive for safekeeping. So they're there, and you can watch them, and they've got the full video in the video. So if you want to watch it along with me, I've made it as easy as possible to acquire it and watch it. No syncing, nothing. Most of the other shows that I watch are going to be timer-based on YouTube, and then I release a full picture-in-picture version, again via a link on Mega, to my Patreon supporters. They're basically a perk for Patreon supporters. Yeah. The other thing that patrons get is early access. 1 week early access to all of my content unless it's currently airing. And I'm going to move away from currently airing shows just because I've been enjoying them less than the older stuff that's had time to breathe and gain its following, and like for people to figure out what it's about and what it's for. I'm enjoying that a lot more, and there is just a ton of old anime that's really, really good and really worth watching that a lot of people have seen and not a lot of people are reacting to. Like there isn't a need for one more guy talking about Goblin Slayer. There isn't a need for one more guy talking about SAO. Although maybe I bring a different perspective to those. I don't know. I just don't think that there's a need for that. And I do think that there's a need for somebody to go back through some of the classics. And so that's what I'd like to do. Or at least shows that have aired fully and are of interest. So that's what I would like to do more of. That's what I would like to move toward. Anyway, that's my daily slot. The rest of the slots are themed. Monday is Mecha Monday, and it is all about the mechas. The first show in the Mecha Monday slot was Full Metal Panic, Invisible Victory, just because I was a fan of the franchise and wanted to see what the new one was like. And I finished it up. You can find the playlist. It's okay. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my least favorite. It was pretty middle of the road. And then I decided to watch Eva. I think I decided that on my own. I don't think I pulled for Eva. No, I didn't pull for Eva. I was just like, I need to watch Eva. Because I watched the first couple of episodes a long time ago, and then like a long time ago. It was one of the first shows that I actually watched. Because when I found anime, I was like, recommendations lists, and people recommend Eva all the time. Because, I don't know, they think that that's a noob anime, and I don't think that's a very good noob anime, you know? I think Eva is something that's probably better once you've been watching the medium for a little while and can understand it in context. But anyway, I'm watching Eva, and at the time of filming this, I'm 11 episodes in? I think it's 11. It might be 12. I'm about halfway through. And it's amazing. Hideaki Anno is a genius, and Gainax is a bunch of badasses, and I really love the show. It's fucking awesome. And I can see why it's one of the best, considered one of the best ever, if not the best, or most influential, or whatever you want to title it. It's really extraordinary. On every level. The writing, the characters, the depth of intent that is just dripping from every scene. And the animation itself is glorious. Yeah, so Eva. Tuesday is TeeHee Tuesday, and it is meant to be a comedy slot. I'm also watching Run with the Wind when it airs on Tuesdays, because it's a Production IG sports show, and I started watching it because I wanted to fill the haiku-shaped hole in my heart. I discovered that I have a new hole growing in my heart, and that hole is the place where Run with the Wind is comfortably sitting, and when it is gone, I am going to be very sad, because it is really fucking good, and easily the most underappreciated anime of the season, in my opinion. Really love Run with the Wind. But the actual themed slot, barring currently airing shows, is TeeHee Tuesday, and it's the comedy slot. And the last poll was for TeeHee Tuesday, because I needed a new show there, because I started off that slot with the Ghost Stories English dub, and unfortunately, those videos get super blocked. Like, super duper fucking blocked. So I stopped watching it. It also just didn't grab me. Like, it was funny. It was funny, but there wasn't much to it. So I ran a poll, and the way that I run polls, by the way, is I run them through Polly, which is an open polling place, and it lets users submit their own submissions. And that way people can submit poll submissions, and I just admin it, and I delete shows that I've already seen or shows that don't fit the category, and let people vote. They can just vote on the shows that they might want to see me react to. And then I take the top couple contenders from Polly, preferably the top two, unless there's a three-way tie, in which case I'll deal with it. But I'll take the top two, and I watch the first episode of both of them. I release both of those first episodes for all patrons, $1 everybody, and then I put up a poll for all patrons and let them vote between the two, with the context of how I felt about the first episodes of each. And the two winners were Sakamoto and Saiki K, and Saiki K won the final poll by a landslide. So, I am watching Saiki K on Tuesdays, and it is a hilarious comedy with, it was aired as 5-minute episodes every weekday, and then a compilation episode on Fridays. And it's really good. I love the format. I love the characters. The cast of characters is amazing. It doesn't have much like depth to it, I would say, and it doesn't really have a continuous narrative, but it's good quality comedy with lots of great situations and clever, interesting scenarios that these great characters get into. It's great. It's good stuff. Wednesday. Wednesday is themed as What the Fuck Wednesday, WTF Wednesday. And I'm watching two shows on Wednesday. I am watching one that I decided I was going to watch, and that is Banana Fish. And Banana Fish so far has been really good. It's been really good. I really like that show. It's got a lot of deep themes. The manga is obviously an incredible source, and I think that the adaptation is done pretty well. It's what do you call it? What do you call gay manga? I know this. Is it a yaoi? It's not a yaoi. No. Not quite. Ah, the much more sexually explicit counterpart of Shounen. Okay, sure. Yeah. Something like that. Whatever, it actually doesn't matter. At all, because it's just a great character story and a good romance. Just happens to be between guys. Okay. It's also an incredibly gripping crime thriller, and sort of, at this point, a globe-spanning conspiracy story with mob elements and sexual abuse and lots of deep themes and cool characters. It's a good show. I like it. And the other thing that I'm watching and will soon be pulling for a new show for on Wednesdays is Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. I've got, where'd she go? Oh, she's right here. Yeah, we got Best Grill with her Best Grill award, Sakuraji Mamai right there. And she is cute as fuck. Look at her, isn't she cute? She's fucking cute. We'll talk about these later. Yeah. So that's Wednesday, and Bunny Girl Senpai has been a tightly written, really interesting sort of slice-of-life mystery drama romance show with some weird supernatural elements, and all of the supernatural elements have ties to quantum physics, and through that to philosophy, and really great characters, easily the best grill of the season. Right there, and another top contender for Best Grill, which would be Futaba. I know. I know. And I kind of agree, but Maya exists, so I can't give it to Futaba because Maya exists. If Maya didn't exist, she would get it. She could still get it. Hey. But anyway, it's been really fun, and it's ending soon, and that makes me very sad. That's Wednesday. Thursday is meant to be Thriller Thursday. And Thursdays are Zombieland Saga and Karakuri Circus. And this is another situation where what's airing when has overtaken what the scheduled theme day is supposed to be. It was supposed to be like psychological mystery, thriller, action stuff. Not necessarily action, but mystery thriller stuff, you know? Problem is I've seen a lot of the good mystery psychological shows because they're the shows that I seek out first. So I've seen a lot of them. I don't know what we're going to do for the next poll. I don't know when new Boogie Pop airs. What day of the week it airs. I hope it airs on Thursday. That would be so cool. But I have a feeling it's going to be a Saturday morning top of the lineup show, which is unfortunate. But anyway, I've been watching Zombieland Saga and Karakuri Circus. Karakuri is long running, Zombieland is ending very soon. Zombieland Saga, if you don't know, it's about idol girls who are zombies, and that's about it. It's a good comedy for the first couple of episodes, and then it becomes a more by-the-book sort of team-building friendship idol show with character drama in the latter parts, with elements of the same comedy interspersed throughout, but much, much lighter touch than the first two episodes, which are what hooked me. And so I thought I was going to drop it because it had given up on the comedy elements, but then I got invested in the characters somehow, and I started just enjoying it for that. So, okay. We'll see how it wraps up in the end. I have a feeling it's just going to be a big old triumphant idol performance, and we'll feel good about it, and that'll be the end. Karakuri is going to be long running, and I really like Karakuri Circus. I really like it. And the reason for that is because it touches a shonen loving part of me that has not been touched since I watched Hunter x Hunter, honestly. But unlike Hunter x Hunter, it plays all the tropes really straight, I think. I don't think it's trying to subvert anything. It's just a straightforward battle shonen. And it's cool. The power system, if you will, is really interesting. And we're right now getting a bunch of really cool world building and character development for the main cast, which is making me like them more than I already did. It's just great. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. There is a solid best grill in it, not of like the season or anything, but there's a great grill, and there's a best dude and a best boy. I have to specify that because best boy Masaru is best boy Masaru, and best dude Narumi is definitely best dude Narumi. And there are puppets, and they fight with them, and it's fucking cool. And there are some really good pieces of animation and some not so good stuff, but it's like an old school action battle shonen with everything played straight, and it feels good, you know? It just feels good. Feels good. Friday is Fighto Friday, and the first show that I started watching on Fridays was Baki 2018. And I made these boys. Baki. Baki is based on the manga, of course. It's based on the prisoners thing, convicts arc of the manga, and the manga is really cool. The anime sometimes does it justice and sometimes makes really shitty CG models that look like crap. Just does. Apparently that's ended though, so the rest of Baki's gonna be good. It's still good without that. It's just gonna be without that, and they're actually gonna hand draw them, which is nice. Very nice. But Baki is a very seriously standard punch. Do the punchy punch and blood goes flying and fight the bad guys, and sometimes the bad guys win and sometimes the bad guys lose, and it's really good. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's got a great opening and ending theme. The soundtrack is rather limited for Baki, but what's there and what's used frequently is really good, and some of the songs that they use for hype stuff are really fucking hype. So it's got a good feel to it, and I like Baki. The other thing, on Fridays, you might notice these boys hanging out over here. Because Friday is Jojo's Friday. Jojo started airing shortly after I started the channel, and obviously I was like, holy shit, Jojo's. And I had made the decision a while ago not to read Part 5 because I wanted to experience it first via the anime. So Part 5 is totally new content for me, and I fucking love it. David Productions is outdoing themselves again. They are doing beautiful justice to Araki's work and putting their own flair on it, and it's just super good. And then I'm also doing Jojo's manga streams right after the Jojo's episode airs. So I watch it and react to it, and then I edit it and then render it, and then as soon as it's rendered, I premiere it on YouTube. And then as soon as just so that I can chat with the homies, and then as soon as it's done premiering, I start up the manga stream and I read the chapters of Jojo up to the end of the content in the last episode. So I get to see what DP has changed and how Araki envisioned it and how he originally drew it and all that stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been really enjoyable so far, and more importantly, I get to chat with the fans and talk about the episode and talk about the differences with the manga and talk about the things that they love about it, and that's just really cool, and I really enjoy doing that. And I think that I will try to find a way to do more live content like that. Potentially another live scheduled manga reading. I don't know when, I don't know what, but I would consider doing it for sure. It would have to be like a really good manga though. And that's the other thing, is because I'm watching JoJo's and reading JoJo's, I feel like what I would want to do is read manga that have never been adapted. Or manga that likely never will be adapted. You know what I mean? Or that were done great injustice by their adaptations. You know what I mean? Just like good stuff that doesn't exist in video format in the same way. I'd like to do something like that. And preferably something that's got a fan base so that there are people watching it so that I can chat with them, because like more than half of the purpose is to chat with the people and hang out and stuff. Because it's like a more casual, more long form content, which is enjoyable to me. I really like it. So that's Friday. And then Saturday is shit fuck shit show day. Basically, I dread Saturdays at this point. And that's not because of the actual shows that's airing, though to an extent it is. It's because there are so many shows airing on Saturdays. So, the shows that I'm watching on Saturdays, I am watching 4 shows that are all airing right now. RWBY, Volume 6. Which is awesome. It airs at 8 a.m. and I'm loving it so far. They've upped the fight animation. Just everything about it has been really good so far. I've really enjoyed it, and I think that they are doing Monty proud and investing the money that they're getting from their premium service into the places it needs to go in the show to make a better product. And I really enjoy it. I'm really loving it. It's super good. So, RWBY. Other things that air really early on Saturdays are SAO, the new SAO, which has been quite the roller coaster. It's been up and down and up and down and lots of down. I enjoyed the first couple of episodes immensely, and then it took a dip into absolute trashiness. And I was like, God damn it, Kawahara. You have done it again. You've created a good premise and a great hook, and then you've fucked it up. So I was looking at it for, like, okay, well, at least I can enjoy it in a kind of an ironic sense and just look to make memes out of it. I'll dedicate 20 minutes or so of my life every morning or every Saturday to this show just for the meme potential. Just for that. Just for that. And then it went from trashy to just straight middle of the road, which is boring. So I'm hoping that it either gets really good or really bad again. Because if it stays middle of the road, I'm just going to get bored. I need to either be able to make memes out of it or actually unironically enjoy it. And I will be totally happy with either one of them. One of you commented on that video saying, you think that I should be more open-minded about it. The latest episode of Sword Art Online. You think that I should come in with more of an open mind. And I just want to say, I've got as open a mind as I possibly can. I'm going to take each episode as it comes to me, but my expectations are gradually getting worse. Because it's gradually getting worse, and so I'm expecting it to continue doing so. If it does do things well, I will enjoy it wholeheartedly, and I really hope that it does, because I would love to love SAO like so many people do. But I don't, because it's not enjoyable. It's just boring. And trite. Sorry. I'm not sorry at all. The other things airing on Saturdays are Goblin Slayer, which is an interesting one. Again, I'm watching it for sort of interesting reasons. I actually dropped Goblin Slayer after just a few episodes, and then I picked it back up again because I felt some urge to. I don't know why. But the first episode was way higher budget and way different in terms of content than everything that has followed thus far. Super gory, controversial, if you will, because of the rape scenes. I didn't find it controversial. I found it to be a marketing move, and I stand by that. I think that it was a marketing move and a hook for edginess, and to get a lot of buzz and conversation around it. And I understand that it's diegetic and that it fits into the story of the light novel, and I don't give a shit. That's still a marketing move. And then it just became a sort of a middle-of-the-road adventure story. Yeah. And then this latest episode of it was fucking great. was great. It was like slow, well-paced slice of life with character development, and it was fucking awesome. And I just hope that there's more of that, and that it's interspersed effectively through the adventure, action, guts and gore stuff to make this whole thing a complete package. So that's a weird one. And then the last show on Saturdays, and I say it's the last show just because it actually airs after all the others, and so I can't start my day with it. I mean, I would start my day with RWBY anyway, but I can't go RWBY.Gridman, and it's SSSS.Gridman, Superhuman Samurai Squad, something like that. Yeah, SSSS.Gridman. And it is a contender for Show of the Season, right alongside Run with the Wind and Bunny Girl Senpai, for very different reasons. It's a trigger show. It is weird and crazy, and the action is hype, and it plays off of cliches and tropes constantly, and is very self-aware. And it's got cool mecha toys, like Mecha from the era of selling Mecha toys, and kaiju, and it's a tokusatsu. It's a tokusatsu show, a transforming hero show, and it's fucking awesome, and I'm hype every episode, and the characters are interesting, and I'm never sure what's going to happen. And it's really fun. I really enjoy it. And additionally, they're doing things in that show with CGI, 3D graphics that I have never seen and that I hope to see more of. Some incredible keyframing work, some stretch compress and smear frames that I just haven't seen in 3D animated stuff. And it is awesome. Really cool. Really, just, it feels like the dawn of a new age, really, for CG, and it's super duper fucking cool. Makes me very happy. And that's Saturday, along with Ginga Eiyuu Densetsu, which I often don't do on Saturdays, thus the daily. And then Sunday. Sunday is probably the day out of all my days that, despite loving the fuck out of Gridman and loving a bunch of the other shows on my schedule, I mean, Ava, obviously, but Sunday is probably the day that I look forward to the most, because it's Seinen Sunday, so deep philosophically stuff. And on Sundays, I watch Sangatsu no Lion. I'm currently, as of filming this, I'm on like episode 11 or so of Sangatsu, and it's amazing, and I love it, and I know that I'm going to end up rating it a 10 on Mal, but I'm not rating it yet because I'm still watching it. It's fantastic. It's a show about shogi that's really about the characters who happen to play shogi. It's a shaft show, so it's visually stunning, and it's just so good. Fucking good. Pulls at the heartstrings, for sure. I would say that probably my best analysis so far has been of Sangatsu. So if you want that, you can go and get it. There's a playlist. There's a little point in the middle of the playlist where I did them as timers while I was still figuring everything out. Because I was able to do the first couple of episodes with the full video in the thing, and then I stopped being able to do that. They got copyright blocked, and so I did them as timers. And now I don't have the original footage, but I think I'm going to at some point go and download the videos off of YouTube and then reinsert the original footage and just do what I've been doing for the rest of the episodes recently, which has been take out the OP and the ED, replace them with really good covers, and credit the artists who covered them. And then I can put the whole video in there because it doesn't appear to be on Content ID, which is so nice. I have no idea. It's so nice. I love doing that, and if I can do that with a show, I will do that with a show. Yeah, so Sangatsu, and then Girls' Last Tour is also on Sundays. And it's this sort of deep, melancholy, but but lighthearted at the same time show about these two naive girls wandering around finding food in a post-apocalyptic empty world. And it's very stylized, and it's all about the philosophy of it. And pretty much every episode, one of the characters poses like a rhetorical question, and then they are put in a situation in that episode where the question is explored in more depth. Because I don't want to say answered, because there aren't answers in the show. The show just lets you ponder, and it's quiet and contemplative and calming and sometimes really cozy, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's my schedule. That's the whole schedule. That's all the shows and all of the slots. And when things end, I'll make announcement videos about polls, and I'll make polls, and then we'll find new things to watch. And the second stage of all the polls will be for patrons. So, yeah. Anyway, that's me, and this is my channel, and this is my new hour-ish long channel trailer video thing. And yeah, I'm Teeaboo, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Before we go, let me just say, I haven't even talked about Paper Pals. I have to talk about Paper Pals. So these things right here that you see over here, these are not edited in. You can see that I'm picking it up and like moving it around. I'm not that good at editing. They are Paper Pals. They are things which I have drawn. You can see that they are drawn, boys. They are things which I have drawn on sort of thick paper, and then I have cut them out, and some of them I've put wires on the back to hold them steady, and all of them have a stick on the back. I make little stands for them, and I stand them up, and these are basically my substitute for figurines or anything like that. They're a way for me to learn a bit more about the styles of the artists who draw the characters, and to put in some work to show my respect and love for the characters. Because I like these characters, and I'm not going to make Paper Pals for characters that I don't care about, because they take a fuckload of time to make. You know, I have to I trace them to an extent, and then figure out how to color them with colored pencils, and then do the extra line work on them, and sometimes cross-hatch them, and then probably generally color them again, because I figure out that the color scheme isn't saturated enough, and so I want them to be better. And then cut them out with an X-Acto knife, and then put them on sticks and make stands for them. It takes fucking hours. It takes a long ass time. But it's super worth it, because I get these paper representations of my love for anime, and that's what they are. And I make them, and I'll continue making them for shows that I enjoy. I've got to get on making an Eva Paper Pal, or like 5, because how do I make just 1 for Eva? I think I need to make 6. 000102 Rei, Asuka, Shinji. Yeah, I need to make 6. That's a lot of time. I don't have that much time, but I'll find that much time, because Eva. How cool is it going to be to have fucking 6 Eva Paper Pals? Or like 3 sets, you know? 3 sets of Paper Pals. That'll be cool. It's worth it. It's worth it. But anyway, they're my replacement for figurines, and they're also a cool thing that I can display and like have in frame, and I switch them out over here for which one's sitting up close, and then they sit on the shelves, and they're cool. A lot of fun, and you know, a little bit of art. And then I decided that if I was gonna ask y'all as YouTubers if I was gonna do the whole shill thing, you know, because I don't like the shill thing any more than anybody else, but you kind of gotta remind people to like the video if they like the video, and subscribe if they haven't, and if they're already subscribed and YouTube isn't doing its job to let them know that the videos exist, then the bell can help with that. And then also, more importantly, like if I'm gonna ask people to give me money so that I can keep doing what I'm doing, I might as well put in like the one-time effort of making something that took effort and using that instead of, because for a couple of videos in the very beginning, I edited in like a fucking like, it's a click button thing. I edited that in and I hated it. It looked so jarring and janky and not at all my style, and it felt really shilly and bleh. This is a little bit more natural, and so I pull these out when I remember in the beginning of videos. I'm like if you like it, and sub if you want to, and if you want me to eat, you can give me money and get early access and stuff. Thrilling endorsement. Yeah, so this is me. This is what I do. This is what I want to do, and so I'm making that happen. Welcome to my Shounen character journey. I hope you'll be a part of it. In whatever form that takes. I understand, boy do I understand, not having the money to spend on frivolous things, like supporting some idiot on YouTube, you know? Like, geez, I understand that. Don't sweat it. Just, you know, watch the videos if you like them. Comment on them. Tell me what you like about the shows. Tell me what you don't like about the shows. Tell me what you like about my reactions. Tell me what you don't like about my reactions. Talk to each other in the comments. Be nice though, you know, like, play nice, kids. Like, it doesn't matter. At this point, when it comes to Patreon, I've hit a point where I can survive. From here on out, it doesn't matter. It really, really mattered in the first month, because if I didn't hit my goals, I was going to starve. And now we're past that. Now we're past that, and I'm at a point where I'm not going to starve if I keep doing this and keep putting out the same quality and quantity of content that I have been. I'm not going to starve, and that's all that really matters to me. I'm not trying to get rich off of this. I'm just trying to do this, and the Patreon just enables me to keep doing this. And that's the fucking best gift in the world. Merry Christmas, Teeaboo. It really is the best gift in the world. And as I get more money on Patreon, it's going to go into stuff that allows me to do this more and better. Like, the first non-food purchase that I'm going to make is a hard drive, so that I don't have to delete all of my files every week. Because it fucking sucks not having backups of all my files, and I've only got 500 gigabytes to work with, and that's not enough. So the first non-food purchase that I'm going to make is going to be a hard drive. And after that, there isn't anything really, really pressing. My computer is good enough that it can record me, and it's good enough that it can process and render out my stuff. This mic, way down the line, could use an upgrade, but it's a pretty damn good mic, and you know, it's better than a Yeti, that's for sure. It is a stage mic, you know, but it doesn't matter. It's a really good mic. My camera could use an upgrade, but in terms of convenience, the webcam that I'm using is just about as convenient and good for my purposes as it can get. Like, maybe it would be nice to shoot on an expensive DSLR or something, but at this point, I don't care. My lighting could definitely use an upgrade. Those are... my lights are two ceiling mount, like, recessed lighting LEDs that I have pointed away from me into these canvas boxes that are the shelves of a drawer system. Like a set of drawers that I have that just happen to have these canvas bag boxes that are white, and so they diffuse the light a little bit. And that's my lighting system. And I wired it up, and it's got like, there are exposed wire nuts over there, and a weird janky like pull chain thing that's taped to my desk over there. And that's my lighting system, and it works pretty well. It looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Plus, there's all the light coming off of my computer screen. But, like, at this point, all of those are unnecessary expenses, really. The only things that I need are food, and to be able to pay for the Mega Drive, and to be able to pay for Crunchyroll. Oh, and Rooster Teeth. And that's about it. I've got those, and so I'm happy. I can feed myself, I can feed my dog. That's really good. I do hope to get to a point, at some point, where I can pay my father rent. Because I have been living here rent-free. Yes, freeloading, and it weighs on my conscience. It's not good. So I'd like to be able to help him out. But for the moment, that's the next dream, you know? The first dream was survive. Survive the month, and then survive the next month. And I'm sort of still in that mindset. But the next thing is to thrive. And to help those around me. Yeah. I hope we get there. Actually, hope doesn't have anything to do with it. We're going to get there. I just hope we get there soon. Here we are at 2K subs. Or what? We're about 2.5 months in. About 10 weeks. Feels like a lifetime. Feels like I've been doing this forever. In a good way. So, I said this in the first of these, and I'll say it again. We're growing, and we're going to keep growing. So the next video like this, and it won't be quite like this because I don't think I'm going to have to remake this channel video. But the next big thank you type video will be at 4,000 subs. First 1,000, and then, well, first 500. Then 1,000. Then 2,000. Then 4,000. The one after that will be at 8. 16, 32. 64. On and on. Because we're going to keep growing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. As long as there are people watching it. I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to slow down. If anything, I'm going to speed up. If anything, I'm going to get better. I'm going to learn and grow. Because this is really my shonen protagonist arc. I've chosen to take the step, to dive in, and now I'm swimming, now I'm walking, and soon I'll be running. And the wind is now in my sails, at my back. The momentum is behind me. I'm not swimming against the current. And that feels good. So, if you're subbed, thank you. If any of the stuff that I've talked about is of interest to you, and you're not subbed, you might want to be. I make a lot of stuff. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the channel. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly have enjoyed making stuff for the channel, building this channel from the ground up. It's all me. There's nobody else working on this. There's no editor, nobody. It's all me. That feels good. Feels good. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.